Ella's focus returned to the case itself. When Lucas was discovered, his hair was dry with only his lower body and pants wet. But according to the medical examiner's estimate, his time of death should have been around 10 p.m. Between that evening and when he was found in the morning, roughly 4 hours. There should have been 2 high tides along the coast. If the beach was the primary crime scene, Lucas's entire body should have been soaked. So he must have been killed somewhere else, stuffed into a rolling suitcase, and secretly transported to the beach at night when no one was around. While they had a new lead, the problem was that the case was already 2 years old. Where were they going to find a primary crime scene with rice and antifreeze? As the investigation hit a wall, Ella reluctantly clocked out and went home. She kept piecing together and rearranging the clues in her mind, feeling like some crucial detail was being overlooked. Mulling it over alone wasn't getting her anywhere. When her new boyfriend texted asking her out, she decisively grabbed her car keys and knocked on Dak's door instead. Solving a case was obviously way more interesting than a date. Fortunately, Dak was just like her, still at home doing case analysis after hours. They simply ordered Chinese takeout and talked things through while eating. Truth be told, lots of people in this case had motive to kill, but the key was really the murder weapon. What kind of object could strike someone and leave rice grains behind? It couldn't be a vacuum-sealed bag of rice, could it? They spent the entire evening discussing it, but still couldn't reach a satisfying conclusion. Seeing how late it had gotten, Ella got up to leave. Just as she opened the door and was about to head downstairs, she suddenly noticed the flickering lights in the hallway. Clues flashed through her mind one after another. Finally, it all clicked. Dak, who'd just been about to go to sleep, was roused once more. It turned out that in the early 1900s, a man named Percy, while developing brighter light bulbs, accidentally invented the snow globe. To make the snow inside the globe more realistic, after experimenting with various materials, he ultimately chose to use rice as the snowflakes. And to sell them in cold European regions, snow globes were often filled with a certain amount of antifreeze. This was the source of the rice and antifreeze on Lucas, because the snow globe was the murder weapon in this case. Remember that collection of souvenirs in Eddie's office? He said they were from his travels around Mediterranean countries. But while souvenirs from other countries were there, Greece's was notably missing. Based on this information, Ella boldly theorized Lucas must have gotten fed up with Brandt's affairs, drugs, fraud, and other shady behavior. So he went to the boss, Eddie, to report him, but he underestimated the brothers' bond and was killed on the spot. Later, Penny showed up, and to investigate the truth about her boyfriend, she didn't hesitate to max out her credit cards and rent a billboard. This made Eddie feel threatened, forcing him to eliminate this potential problem. While this was all circumstantial evidence, it was enough for the police to request a search warrant. After all the commotion, Eddie, who was preparing to flee, was successfully apprehended. He would face charges for murder and attempted murder. As the case was solved, Ella also received good news from May. While there hadn't been much progress on her boyfriend Roman's disappearance, they'd tracked down the last person he'd met with, a businessman who operated in both legitimate and criminal circles. May had already gotten a fix on his whereabouts.